Let me ask you something. How do you start your day? Because that answer is more important than you think. See, every single morning when your feet hit the floor, you are either stepping into chaos or stepping into covenant. A morning routine isn't just a habit. It's a spiritual agreement between the person you are and the person you are becoming. And if you want to live a life of excellence, it starts before the sun comes up. Most people are chasing motivation. They're hoping they'll feel inspired when they wake up, that somehow the desire to be disciplined will just appear. But I've got news for you. Motivation is a liar. Motivation will whisper, hit snooze. Discipline will shout, let's go. A morning routine isn't about doing what feels good. It's about doing what produces good. Discipline is what builds legacy. And your routine is the training ground where that discipline is forged. Here's the truth. You either command the day or the day will command you. Life doesn't wait. The moment you open your phone, check your messages, scroll through someone else's dream, you've already surrendered yours. That first hour of your day is sacred. It's the only part of the day you fully control. And if you don't claim it with clarity and purpose, you'll spend the rest of your day reacting instead of creating. Now listen, routines aren't restrictive, they're rhythmic. There's a rhythm to success, there's a cadence to purpose. People look at high achievers and think they're lucky or gifted. No, they've just mastered their rhythm. They do the same powerful things at the same powerful time with the same powerful energy until results start dancing to their beat. Your morning routine is the conductor's baton. It sets the tempo for the symphony of your life. And you've got to hit 3 dimensions every single morning: mindset, movement, and mastery. Start with your mind. Get still, get grateful, get focused, speak life, declare your goals, visualize your victory, then move, breathe, stretch, sweat, get the blood flowing and the excuses out. And finally, master something. Read, write, learn, build your edge, grow your value. The world rewards those who multiply their gifts, not those who bury them in routineless living. Because here's the law of life: what you repeat, you become. If you repeat excuses, you become a quitter. If you repeat purpose, you become unstoppable. That routine of yours is not just something you do, it's a mirror of who you're becoming. Every rep, every journal entry, every early wake-up call, it's shaping your identity. And identity is stronger than willpower. Once you believe you're a disciplined, focused, purpose-driven person, you won't need to push yourself anymore. You'll just live it. So I'm not asking you to try a morning routine. I'm challenging you to claim your life back, to draw a line in the sand and say, this is where the old me ends and the new me begins. Not someday, not when it's convenient, but tomorrow morning, before the world wakes up, before the chaos starts, while it's still quiet enough to hear the voice of your future calling out to you. You want to be great? Start early. Start focused. Start now. Because your morning isn't just the beginning of the day. It's the foundation of your destiny. Mornings are not just the start of another day. They are a sacred opportunity. They are a covenant with your future. A promise that you're not going to live on autopilot, that you're not going to sleepwalk through life waiting for things to change. Every morning is a doorway, and the way you walk through it sets the tone for everything that follows. And when you wake up with purpose, with intention, with structure, you're making a declaration to your future self. I'm coming for you. This isn't about having a to-do list. It's about alignment. It's about showing your future that you're serious. You can't want $1 million life and give it a $5 morning. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is bridged by consistency. And that bridge starts being built when the sun rises. When you choose to wake up and take control of those early hours, you're planting seeds. Seeds of discipline, seeds of vision, seeds of excellence. The reason why most people never reach their potential is because they think the future will meet them halfway. It won't. The future is reserved for those who prepare for it, and preparation starts in the morning. That first hour is not just time, it's territory. And every time you use it wisely, you're claiming more ground in the direction of your dreams. You're not just preparing for the day, you're preparing for the life you were born to live. If you look at anyone who has created lasting success, real impact, they all have one thing in common. They don't leave their mornings to chance. They understand that the morning is where winners are made. It's where mindsets are shaped, where values are reinforced, where commitments are renewed. You can't live a powerful life on a powerless morning. You can't expect long-term greatness from short-term laziness. But when you rise early, when you get focused, when you decide to invest in your mind, your body, your spirit before the world starts making demands, that is a covenant act. That is you saying, I honor my calling too much to sleep on it. That is you saying, I love my future too much to be casual with my present. Mornings are not just about productivity, they are about identity. Who you choose to be in the morning becomes who you are when life gets loud, when things get busy, when pressure shows up. And if you've anchored yourself early, if you've spoken to your purpose, fed your spirit, disciplined your body, then when challenges come, you won't fold, you'll flow. That's why the morning is sacred. It's not just the beginning of a day, it's the proving ground for your future. It's where greatness begins. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark fades. Too many people wait to feel like taking action. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mindset, the perfect surge of inspiration. But greatness doesn't come to those who wait on feelings. It comes to those who move through feelings with discipline. Because motivation might get you started once, but only discipline will keep you going day after day when it's not exciting, when no one's clapping, when results aren't visible yet. Discipline is a decision. It's a daily choice to show up regardless of circumstances. It's what separates dreamers from doers. See, motivation is emotional. It fluctuates. You might be pumped up on Sunday night after watching a motivational video ready to conquer the world, but what happens Monday morning when that alarm goes off and your bed feels warmer than your ambition? That's when discipline steps in. Discipline says, get up anyway. Discipline doesn't negotiate with excuses. It doesn't care how you feel. It only cares whether you follow through. And here's the truth most won't tell you. You won't always feel like doing what's required. In fact, the greater the vision, the more resistance you'll face. But discipline builds strength. Every time you act without waiting for motivation, you train your mind to lead your body. You're telling yourself, I'm in control. My purpose is stronger than my mood. That's where power is built, in the silence, in the sweat, in the repetition. Not when it's easy, but when it's necessary. The problem is, people overvalue hype and undervalue habits. But the person who works when they don't feel like it will always outperform the person who waits to be inspired. Because discipline compounds. It builds trust with yourself. You begin to believe in your ability to follow through. And when you trust yourself, you move with a different kind of confidence, not fake hype, but real inner strength. That's the kind of confidence that can't be shaken by failure, by opinions, or by obstacles. Motivation is borrowed energy. Discipline is owned energy. When you build discipline, you don't have to rely on outside sources to get moving. You become your own generator. And that's where true freedom is. Not in doing what you feel like, but in doing what you decided to do. You're no longer driven by the emotion of the moment. You're driven by the commitment to your calling. So if you want to change your life, stop asking, how do I stay motivated? Start asking, how do I stay consistent? The answer is simple. Build discipline. And discipline is built in the small moments. The morning you get up on time. The workout you finish when you wanted to quit. The book you read instead of scrolling your phone. Every small act of discipline is a brick. You stack enough of them and you'll build a life no storm can shake. Every single day you are either giving the orders or taking them. There is no in between. You either wake up and take command of your time, your focus, your energy, or the world will take it from you before you even finish your first cup of coffee. Life is not waiting for you to get intentional. The distractions are already lined up. The demands are already knocking. If you don't set the tone, something or someone else will. That's why the morning is not just a part of your day, it's the battlefield for your attention. The moment you open your eyes, you're in a fight, not with the world, but with your own habits, your own impulses, your own tendency to drift. You have to decide, will I act or will I react? Because if you don't have a plan, you'll become part of someone else's. Your inbox becomes your to-do list. Your phone becomes your compass. Your stress becomes your schedule. That's not leadership, that's surrender. And people who live surrendered to chaos rarely create anything meaningful. Commanding the day doesn't mean packing your calendar full of noise. It means owning your first moments with clarity and purpose. It's about establishing a rhythm that puts you in control. It's about choosing to start with intention before interruption. When you wake up and immediately check texts, social media, the news, you're opening the gate to everyone else's agenda. You're letting the outside world define your inside world. But when you begin with silence, with structure, with sovereignty, you reclaim the power that most people give away before 8 a.m. The truth is, there are only two types of people in this world: those who direct their day and those who drift through it. The directors live by design, the drifters live by default. And if you're not careful, you'll confuse being busy with being productive. You'll mistake motion for progress, but motion without direction is just burnout in disguise. That's why your morning matters. That's why taking command is non-negotiable. When you command the day, you don't just move with urgency, you move with accuracy. You're not chasing tasks, you're chasing purpose. You're not reacting to life, you're creating life. And that creation begins the moment you decide to lead yourself before you try to lead anything else. So here's the challenge. Before the world gets access to you, you get access to you. Before the emails, the opinions, the noise, you connect with your mission, you review your goals, you fuel your mind, you align with your values, because the person who commands their morning doesn't need to chase success all day. Success begins to chase them. Let the world follow its chaos. You move with conviction, you move with clarity, because once you take control of the morning, the rest of the day starts falling in line. And that's the power of living by design, not by demand. A routine is more than just a checklist, it's a rhythm. And rhythm is the language of mastery. Just like music flows best when it follows a beat, life flows best when it follows intentional structure. You can hustle hard, you can work late, you can grind yourself into the ground, but without rhythm, you'll burn out instead of break through. A routine gives your life that steady, repeatable flow that leads to predictable results. It's the difference between chaos and clarity. See, people think routines are restrictive, that they box you in and steal your freedom. But that's backwards. Lack of structure is what keeps people trapped. When you have no plan, you waste energy figuring out what to do. But when you have rhythm, your actions become automatic and your focus becomes fierce. You stop negotiating with yourself about whether to show up, you just show up. And when you show up consistently, results start to become inevitable. Everything in nature operates in rhythms. The tides, the seasons, the sunrise. And when your life is out of rhythm, you feel it. You feel scattered. You feel behind, you feel stuck. But when your routine aligns with your vision, your life starts moving in harmony. You're not just productive, you're aligned. You're not just working hard, you're working smart. And that's when momentum kicks in. It's because results don't come from what you do occasionally, they come from what you do consistently, even when no one's watching. Rhythms make the hard things easier. They remove the mental weight of decision fatigue. Instead of waking up and wondering, what should I do today? You already know, you've rehearsed it, you've committed to it, you've built it into your system. And when something is part of your system, it no longer depends on your mood. Your habits carry you, even when motivation doesn't. Most people don't fail because of lack of effort. They fail because of lack of rhythm. They stop and start, go hard for a few days, then disappear. But real power comes when your actions become a drumbeat, steady and strong. A rhythm that keeps you moving forward even when progress feels slow. Because here's the secret. Slow progress with rhythm will always beat fast progress with inconsistency. Your routine is the conductor of your life. If you set the tempo right, everything else starts to move in sync. Your energy, your decisions, your opportunities, you become more focused, more grounded, more unstoppable. So don't just chase results. Build the rhythm that produces them. Master the routine, and the results will come looking for you. Every powerful morning routine is built on a foundation of 3 pillars: mindset, movement, and mastery. These 3 areas aren't just activities, they're the core dimensions of your being. If you want to win the day, you've got to align your mind, activate your body, and grow your value. When you touch all 3, you don't just wake up, you rise up. You don't just prepare for the day, you position yourself to dominate it. First, mindset. Before anything else, you've got to take control of your thoughts, because your mind is the command center of your life. And if you leave it unattended, it will default to fear, doubt, and distraction. That's why your morning has to start with intention. Speak life, declare your goals, rehearse your vision, fill your mind with what you want, not what you fear. Because what you dwell on in the morning will expand throughout the day. Gratitude, affirmations, prayer, visualization. These are not fluff, they are fuel. They reset your internal compass and point you toward purpose. Then comes movement. You got to get the blood flowing. You got to send a signal to your body that it's time to show up and engage. Movement creates energy. It wakes up your system, shakes off the excuses, and breaks the laziness off your spirit. Whether it's a full workout, stretching, walking, or just 10 minutes of deliberate motion, movement flips the switch. And when your body is active, your brain is sharper, your focus is stronger, your emotions are steady. You were not created to be still. Movement is momentum in physical form. Finally, mastery. And this is the difference maker. A routine without growth is just maintenance. But when you commit every morning to learning, to developing a skill, to feeding your mind with new insights, you become more valuable, not just to others, but to yourself. Read the book, watch the lesson, write the plan, reflect on the vision. Just 15-30 minutes of focused growth each day adds up to hours of transformation over time. And the person who grows daily outpaces the one who hustles randomly. Mastery compounds, and the morning is the best time to invest in it. When you combine mindset, movement, and mastery, something powerful happens. You become unstoppable. You're mentally locked in, physically charged up, and spiritually fed. You've already won before the world even wakes up. You don't start the day in defense. You step in with offense, with direction, with momentum. This trifecta is how you build a launch pad, not a landing strip. Your morning becomes the platform that propels you toward your goals. Because when your mind is aligned, your body is activated, and your gifts are being sharpened, you stop chasing greatness and start living it. Repetition is the architect of identity. What you do consistently isn't just shaping your schedule, it's shaping you. Every time you wake up and make a decision, every habit you repeat, every choice you execute without negotiation, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. You don't become disciplined by reading about discipline. You become disciplined by repeating disciplined actions until they become second nature. Until they're not what you do, they're who you are. The most powerful transformation doesn't happen through occasional breakthroughs. It happens through consistent behavior. You become what you rehearse. If you keep telling yourself you're not a morning person, then guess what? You won't be. If you repeat procrastination, you reinforce hesitation. But if you repeat excellence, even in small ways, you reinforce identity. That's why the small decisions matter so much. The way you brush your teeth, the way you make your bed, the way you honor your schedule, all of it is forming a pattern. And that pattern is either lifting you or limiting you. Most people underestimate the power of small daily actions. They think greatness comes from big dramatic moves. But the truth is, it's the quiet repetitions, the early mornings, the extra reps, the book read instead of the TV show watched. That's where greatness is born. Your destiny isn't built in a moment. It's built in a rhythm. And that rhythm is determined by what you repeat. You want to change your life? Change what you do consistently. Start with the small things. Because if you can't be trusted with the small, you'll never be entrusted with the big. And when you commit to the process, even when you don't see results right away, you're aligning your actions with your future. You're building integrity with yourself. You're stacking momentum. And one day you'll look up and realize the person you dreamed of being, you've become them. Not through a flash of lightning, but through a steady current of consistency. This is why habits matter. They're not just actions, they're identity systems. Every morning you rise early instead of sleeping in. Every time you push through a workout, every page you read, every promise you keep to yourself, you're reinforcing a belief. This is who I am now. And once your identity changes, your results follow. So stop trying to change your life with willpower alone. Start building the identity of the person who lives the life you want. Ask yourself, what would a focused, disciplined, purpose-driven version of me do every morning? Then do that, not once, but every day. Because what you repeat, you become. And when your actions align with your vision consistently enough, your reality has no choice but to catch up. The truth is simple, but it's not easy. Your future is being built every single morning, whether you realize it or not. Each day begins with a choice to lead your life with intention or to be led by distraction. And the people who rise, who win, who create extraordinary results, they're not waiting for motivation. They're not hoping for a better day. They command the day. They choose discipline over comfort. They understand that routines create rhythms. Rhythms create results. And what they repeat, they inevitably become. If you want to change your life, stop looking for the breakthrough and start building the habits. Wake up with purpose. Lead your mind before the world gets a chance to. Move your body to awaken your potential. Sharpen your skills to increase your value. Stack those victories early, and you'll carry that momentum into everything you do. The morning is not just a part of your day, it's the foundation of your future. It's a covenant you make with the version of yourself you're becoming. So decide today that you won't live by reaction, you'll live by design. Because when you master your mornings, you don't just change your schedule, you change your standard. And when your standard rises, so does your life. Own the morning, and you'll own the rest of your life.